Today I'm going to show you 3 techniques to create the dabbing effect. So I'm going to use Protein Bond on top of my full cover tip. My tip is textured with a 150 grit. So I'm going to use a little bit of vibrant colors. So I'm going to put a white background so that it pops right away. So I'm taking my cream clay and polishing it on. It doesn't have to be perfect, you just have to get it everywhere. So if there's a little patchy marks, it doesn't matter, but this covers really well. I'll put her under the light for 1 full minute. So now I'm going to place them just in different places with the dabbing technique with my gel brush. So what I love about doing this with cream clay is very, very thin. So it's really not going to build any bulk and it's going to cure really tight. Okay, I'm going to wipe in between colors. You do not have to get the whole color all the way out. Let's overlap a blue. Get a little bit of this color again. This will create a purple. So it's going to look like you're using multiple colors, but you really only have used 2 colors and there's 3 out of it. Okay, so now I'm really going to make it look more textured now. Let's take some yellow. I'm going to overlap it over the pink and it's going to make like an orange, going with some green. And if you're doing this on multiple ones, I wouldn't put it in the same spot. It'll make it flow a lot better. I'm going to take the orange. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is wipe everything off my brush and kind of dab over it so it's a little more smooth. So now I'm going to cure this for 30 seconds. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer them again. And I may overlap different colors on different spots. You don't need quite as much in some spots. It just depends how vibrant you want them. Let's put a green here. Alrighty, okay, so now I'm wiping. See how many times I'm wiping? It actually looks really pretty. A little bit more, just to your liking. Okay, the more I touch it, you can see it kind of settles down. Now I'm going to cure this for 1 full minute. Make sure your sides are clean. This is my second round and I'm curing it for 30 seconds as well. My next coat that I'm going to go into is going to kind of add a little pop, and then I'm going to add a little shimmer. I'm going to take my sunshine glitter and put it on the yellow, kind of isolate it with the yellow. So what this is going to do is just kind of give it a sheen and kind of maybe a little dimensional looking. I'm going to use Crush, and I'm going to use Crush on some of the pink and yellow in between. Pink and yellow. And then I'm going to use Funkadelic, and Funkadelic I want to put more kind of on the bluish purple, or maybe purple. Yeah, the purple. That looks really good. You really can't tell what I'm doing now. You could see some glitter, but when I put my top coat, you'll see it kind of melt all into each other and blend well. So what I'm going to do is a glitter press. Every time I press, I'm going to wipe my finger off because I don't want the glitter on all the colors. Now I literally could just flash set it with my pink here. And as you could see, like some of it's kind of glow in the dark, really cool looking. It's going to be a pretty cool combo. So now I'm going to take Manicure Top and I'm going to just put a top coat on it. And as you can see, when you put the top coat on, you could kind of see your design come to life. You could either pen cure them if you're doing one nail, or they could go under the light for 30 seconds. So now I'm going to bring my theme park out and I'm just going to do a final touch, and then I'm going to go into my final top coat. I hadn't used this color yet. I kind of want to use it on top to make it pop just a little. Let's wipe this off. I think I want to add the blue too. Dolphin Squeaker, just a tad though. So if you want a tad, just kind of tap it. And I want to make it a little bold in a couple spots. Kind of like it's fading in. But if you notice, even though I've gone, maybe this is my 4th layer, it does not look thick at all. It cures so tight. That's why I love cream clay so much. So So I'm going to go ahead and put her under the light for 30 seconds. She's under the light for 30 seconds. And what I'm going to use is I'm going to choose gloss top coat. That is in our Synergy line. The reason why I'm picking gloss, it's going to add a little strength to the full well tip, and it's also a little thicker top coat, and it's a stain resistant on top of it. And what it's going to do is kind of make it look like you're looking inside the nail because it's a tad bit thicker. So what I'm going to use is gloss gel, and I love this stain resistant gel. It has a really high shine, and I like that it adds a little bit of strength to the nail. And as you can see the thickness, but look at what it's done already. Look at where I didn't do it, and look at how it looks dimensional kind of. And I created really a dimension through mixing colors. So I think that this was a great choice for a full well tip because it will add a little bit of strength, and the shine lasts so long with this, with gloss. Now, I like to cure gloss for 2 full minutes, and the reason being is gloss could be tricky. I feel like it comes to its, it is a 60-second cure, but I feel like it comes to its highest shine in 2 minutes. But if you go anything over 2 minutes, it looks like it starts to deploy the shine. So I just set my timer for 90 seconds and it comes out looking like glass. You'll see. Okay, so I finished the nail. It does have its top coat gloss, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, I kind of want it to pop just a little more. So you could actually add at this point. So I will get my tile, touch it just very little, very, very little. I think it's gonna make it really pop. The reason why I could add one more gel on there, another color, it still has a tacky layer. Yes, it's the top coat, but I could come in again with another top coat and I don't have to put it on as like hefty as I did the first time because it has the strength, and I could go in with it thinner. So I'll show you that as well. But that's why my nails are like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna cure her. Really, it's very thin, so I'm gonna cure. I could get away with 30 seconds because it will harden for me, and I could go in with one more coat of my gloss. So now I'm gonna use it a little thinner. So that's what I love about gloss too. You could use it a little thicker for strength, or say you file the nail and there's a little dip somewhere, you could actually float this top coat over it. Now I promise this 2 minutes is the final cure. So now I'm going to take Swipe to wipe off the dispersion layer of gloss. I do one more step after I wipe off the sticky layer, the dispersion layer. I like to take a file and go underneath, and the reason being is sometimes you feel kind of tight on the sides, and sometimes your client will say it's not really that it flooded, it's just from all the product curing. So what I like to do is take my file, and do not get it where you see the blue. Like, don't get it where you see the blue. I want you to come up along the sidewall, and it will never scratch what you did. I do this to all 10 nails. I do this to myself, and it feels really, really good once you do that. Now, looking at her cuticle here, you could still, if it looks a tad bit off, I love this square bit. I love it so much because you actually could come in, and I've done this many times. Some days you're 100% on it, and some you're like on the struggle bus at 90%. So right here, I'm just gonna lightly touch it. Lightly touch it. And that's just me being picky, but I like to be consistent with my clients. So if I see something that would bug me, I always fix it for them too. So there you go. So now let's roll into the next one. So my next step design is actually not as many products. I kind of narrowed it down to a couple. I'm going to show you a fade with Slickpour. So I am using these 2 colors here. I am using Silk Pony and Scrubs. I'll be using Manicure Top, and I'll end it with Ultimate Finish. Okay, I'm picking Manicure Top because I like the dispersion layer in it. You could use really anyone like a base. You'll find base is a little more grip, adds a little more bulk. So this may take up to 3 to 4 layers to get the effect I would like, depending on what colors you use. So I'm gonna use Manicure Top to keep it thin, and I like the dispersion layer. So I'm going to cure for 30 seconds. So what I'm going to do first is kind of, let me position it. I'll come right here, and I actually, this brush, this is all I use this for a fade. It's our acrylic brush, It's our artistic sculptor, but I use it for fades with Slickpour. So I don't really use this with, as you could tell, ever with acrylic. I just use it for art purposes. And the reason why I like it as opposed to this one, let me show you really quick, because this is a great tool too, and I will use this eventually. However, it's a little more stiff, so it might not be able to flick kind of the particles or the fade to kind of blend in. This is really bendy, so you'll see how it works. It's a huge difference. Okay, so I'm gonna hold it down. Kind of get it big here and then go down a little and see how it kind of faded in towards the end. So now I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna fade it up into the pink and fade up. Now it's actually going to get darker. Right now you can't really see what it's really going to look like, but it's actually going to create 3 colors in one. So this has a dispersion layer still, so I'm going to cure it like about 15 to 30 seconds, however long it takes me to do the other hand. So what I'm going to do is dust it off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I'm going to put this on my finger because I might want to press it in a little in the dispersion layer on other coats. So as you can see, if you look really close, you could kind of see the fade, but it's really light. So I'm going to come in with another manicure top. And again, you could use whatever, if you want conversion gel, if you want conversion gel or manicure, those are probably the two that you could have a great layer with, or base. Just some add more thickness to it sometimes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cure it 15 seconds. Really, that's all you need. Okay, so let's repeat the layer. Now 15 seconds, it'll have a little more of a dispersion layer than the full 30. At 30 to a minute, it's going to be the same dispersion layer. I just feel like it has a little bit more, so it will hold on a little better. So I'm going to take Silk Peony again and just repeat the process. So kind of bring it down a little bit over. Then you're going to overlap it the other way and see the angles I do it, so it kind of will go back there. You don't want it too back. Okay, I'm going to use my finger and just kind of tap it in. Oh, I should put one on my thumb too. I'm going to, because then I could use both. Let me grab one. Then I could utilize both of my fingers, and I could really even do it on the side, so that way it's not going to get wider on her. Okay, now I'm going to cure this for a few seconds. So I'm going to dust this off with my brush, see what's left. I think it's going to take 4 passes. Every color is different, but the beautiful thing about this is it's not adding really a lot of bulk. So it's perfect for the full well tips. Okay, 15 to 30 seconds while you're working on the other hand. Okay, after 15 seconds, you're going to repeat the process. And really all this takes is patience. Oh, you could really see the purple coming through now. Okay, let's come right here. Lightly go there, and then I'm going to kind of feather it a little. Okay, I'm going to use my pen cure really quick, or like I said, she could go under the light while you're working on the other hand. Typically I would do that. On the training hand, I use my pen cure because it's easier for me to really maneuver it on my client, but it's easy for my client to go under the light, and I just transition to the other hand. Now I'm going to add my 4th coat, and this coat should do it. Cure this for 15 to 30 seconds. So this is my 4th coat, and I feel like I want to start with the green just because I want it a little more green here. See, I made it more green. Then I'm going to come here with the pink, make it really pink. And then I'm going to lightly tap it here. See how a little bit's coming off? I'll lightly tap it. Alrighty. Flash cure it for a few seconds just so that dispersion layer holds on to all your Slickpour. So it actually has more cure time. So what it's doing is it's holding on and curing it. If I don't do this, when I go over my next top coat, a lot of it's going to move and come off. Okay, so that's plenty of time. So I'm going to come in with my top coat. I just did another coat of manicure top. but look at how tight this is staying. This is actually my fourth coat. If I decided to do one more, that would be max you could do, because then you're gonna get like a bulky nail. But as you could see, it looks like a sculpted nail. It looks like the perfect thickness. You're also gonna have your strength because Slickpour is actually acrylic. So there's so many things you could do with Slickpour. So I'm gonna go ahead and cure this. Let me go over it one more time. I saw there was a fuzz. So I'm gonna cure this for 1 full minute. I could stop here, or I could flash set it and finish it with a non-tack. Let's finish it with, actually I feel like that the thickness is great, so I'm gonna finish it with Manicure. So let's cure it 1 full minute. So when you use Manicure top coat, you use Manicure cleanser. It's the perfect blend to take off the dispersion layer. You can use swipe, but what it could do is also deploy the shine of that pretty nail you just did. So I like to keep what goes with the system. Okay, again, I'm going to file my little sides here, okay, and then I'll go into the next one. So for my next design, I'm going to use Slickpour as well, but it's gonna be an aura look. So I'm going to use Burlesque Blues, Surf Pipe, and Ice Clink. So my tip is protein bonded. So I'm gonna put it into conversion gel, but I'm gonna use it a little different than you typically have seen before. So I'm gonna go into my base. So I will cure this 30 seconds under the light. I'm going to use Ice Link first, and I'm going to full coverage the whole color. Now I'm using it on the dispersion layer. Normally you would use it on, put your base down, and then you would pour it into the base, then cure it. That will come out a lot darker. When you do it this way, it's going to come out a lot lighter. It's still going to add strength because you're laying it on top of the full wall tip. And I'll probably do a couple coats of this blue. So I will cure it 30 seconds while you do your client's other hand. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and dust it off. So the first coat I didn't press down. I'm probably going to the next one. So I put my little protectors on. I'm going to come in with my second coat of conversion base. And it's a pretty baby blue background. Okay, let's cure this 30 seconds. So now I'm going to come in for the second pass. Anchor her finger down. I'm going to kind of just pile it on a little. So now I'm going to cure this for, let's do 15 seconds. Okay, I'm going to dust it again. Make sure it's all clean around her cuticle area. And I'm not putting pressure on her. All I'm doing, as you can see a little bit there, is taking off the little buildup of the Slickpour. You don't want to go in with your top coat with it there because it could have a little rough finish or feel like something they want to pick at. So really it's for looks and for comfort. So I'm done with my Ice Clink. I'm going to go in with my base for fiber gel, and as you could see, it's like a baby pink, and when I add the other blue colors, the color will pop a little more. Make sure you cover the entire nail with the conversion base. And as you could see on the full wall tip, what it's doing is building a little more structure. And you really don't need more structure, but it's also really tight still. So you still have your shape in there. It's not too thick where you're looking different ways. It's looking really thick. So I'm going to cure this for about 15 seconds. And I'm going to go into Surf Pipe. And this one, I'm going to use more of a makeup brush. I've been using the Artistic Acrylic Sculptor, just because remember it has like really good movement. So here I kind of want it isolated for a minute, so like in a spot. So let's see, maybe like right here. And if I was doing this on all 10, which I think would look really cool, I would have them coming from different directions because it's like an aura look. It's really cool. Okay, then I'll kind of go back and forth with it. So I'm going to go under about 15 to 30 seconds, as long as it takes you to do the other hand. Okay, let's dust it off. And let's go into another coat of conversion base. And you want to, hold on 1 minute. I'm going to put this here because there's a little trick. Once I go over my blue, I'm going to wipe this off just in case there's a little piece there. I want to keep the color underneath the color it is. Okay, so I will cure this another 15-30 seconds. So you're always in motion. So now I'm going into my second And I'm going to use this one, my other brush. So it'll kind of fade a little bit. See the little bit on my brush? I'm going to kind of dust it off a little and kind of fade it a tad bit. Dab, dab. Okay, I love that color. I think that's a great color. So what I'm going to do is go under for, let's do 15 seconds for this. Okay, so I'm done with my surf pipe, but I'm going to come in and make sure it's clean of anything. Alrighty, so I'm going to put my little tile here, and I'm going to go over the blue. Wipe it just in case. It's just a little trick I do. Then that way, see how it's not transferring anywhere. And there really wasn't much, but still, I don't want to go back and fix anything. And I like to wipe it before I go back in because I'll be using this for other services as well. So I'm going to cure this for 15 seconds. So now what I'm going to do is use Burlesque Blue. So I'm going to come in right here with the one that's more isolated, put it here. And then I'm going to kind of get this and fade it out a little. Oh, that looks really cool. It fits the aura perfectly. It's okay if you kind of overlap it a little because it looks more sporadic. Put a little more right there. Okay, I'm going to cure her for 15 seconds. Okay, that was 15 seconds, so I'll dust it off. See how a little bit came off? I kind of piled it right there because I wanted it intense with a little bit of shimmer coming out here. And like I said, I think this design's beautiful with multiple. You could do one smaller coming this way. Just use your imagination. So I'm going to use Ultimate Finish in this one, and I'm going to do the same thing. Hold on one sec. This is a really great tip because if you polish and it has a shimmer or a color and it goes to a part you don't want it, see there's a tad, just a little, you can see a couple little pieces right there. Just a couple, but see what it does. And then you're going to come in, and you don't want to cross-contaminate colors in your top coat too. So I love this. It has a little bit more of a thicker consistency, and it gives it a really cool look. Now I'll come through here. I don't see it on her skin, but I always kind of double check myself. You never know. There might be some powder. Okay, so I will final cure this for 1 full minute. Okay, you're probably wondering, why didn't I use conversion top? I could have. The reason why I used Ultimate Finish is to show you could use whatever top coat of choice you may like. So I wanted a non-tack. I didn't want to have to swipe it, so I chose Ultimate Finish. Just because you're using conversion base doesn't mean you have to finish it in this aspect on top of a full well tip, because you have a sturdy foundation underneath. So I hope that makes sense. So now I don't have to wipe this at all. I still do this. I come right here if it needs it. Alrighty. Go ahead and dust her off. So never forget rose oil, put back in the nutrients. We take out changing the pH balance. I usually go underneath the nail as well and just rub it in. So I hope you guys learned some new nail techniques that you could apply to your services in your business.